I've been hearing a lot lately about men don't talk, but in my experience, men do talk, just people aren't listening. So it's going to be me and a group of blokes discussing our struggles and victories through life. Warning, there may be some bad language, so apologies to all the mums, especially my own. Let's get going.
Abin, yeah, the Black Country Blokes tune fat about everything it is, mental health, disability, and life in general. Here, me, Kev Dillon, and my partner in crime, as always, Lee Cadman. And today we're going to be discussing downtime, how we relax. But before we get into that, as always, our gratitude list. Because I always like to think to myself, there's plenty of things in the world to be grateful for, so focus on them. Focus on the things that make you grateful instead of the things that make you down. I'm grateful. I had the weekend off this weekend. My daughter went acting, then she went swimming. So Saturdays, as every parent knows, is a busy day. You're a taxi, here, there, and everywhere. But we went to Bliss Hill in Ironbridge. It was lovely because we normally go to Black Country Museum, and it was great just being there, walking around. I love the characters in Got a Place in these living museums.
It's got a great fair there, isn't it?
But the fair wasn't on because it was winter.
Right.
But it's great just going in there, the houses, going around. And I love learning stuff. I learned about the telegram, learned about fabrics, learned about women's rights, because I love my daughter to learn about women's rights and the brave people who come before us to allow women to vote and how hard it was back then and how blessed she is to live in these times. So I love that. And just, quality time with me, my wife and my daughter.
Did they still have the bank there where you change money? Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Well, we've changed the fiver into shillings and halfpennies, but she's got the piece of paper that you can go around and work it out. Great learning tool again.
Yeah.
And then my wife bought instructions on how a lady should use a fan, because back in the day, women weren't allowed to flirt or allowed to come on. So it's like, I'm engaged or I'm sorry. And it's these different things. And that's set in 1900. And you think that's only 124 years ago. But how far the world has come in that time, we've had 2 world wars.
And the mad thing is, that's only 3 generations ago.
3 to 4 generations.
Well, there's people who live to 100, isn't there?
Yeah.
So, you're right on the cusp of that. But it's a million miles. How quick everything's changed in that time.
Well, I talked to one of the ladies who worked there, and we were saying about that, like from the telegram, tickety-tick, to a letter could take, like from here to Australia, could take 6 months basically to get there. So then the telegram that could take, hours, to this, to that, to now we've got everything instant. And, for when we were kids, if you're looking up to have a house phone, then it was the fax, then it's the email, and now it's just literally everything is clicked on. You could talk to your auntie in Australia, FaceTiming for free. Whereas a house phone, when we used to phone my auntie Angie in America, it was we'd phone her a month, then she, us, and it cost you a month's salary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or phoning back from home when you're abroad, you stood there at the phone box putting your 10p's or your pounds in. And that's, 20 years ago?
Probably a bit more than that.
Well, would you say, look, if you think 2024?
Yeah, I remember in 2000s, when we was leaving school, that year we left in 2000s, and I had a mobile phone then. So it's probably isn't it, 20 years?
20 years? How fast that's changed, though. And you had the people with the massive phones and But the average day Joe, if you needed the phone, your mum, and you're at Stairbridge and you're picking up or whatever, you go to a phone box.
Yeah.
And you remember everyone's numbers.
That's it.
Now
you can barely remember your own.
Well, it is. We've dumbed ourselves down because telephone numbers, birthdays, sat nav, spell check. We've actually, considering we've got more knowledge coming into our brains, which I personally believe the human brain isn't designed for, too much knowledge, but the actual knowledge that we used to need has become redundant. Telephone numbers. How do I get from here to home? I'll put a sat nav on. Before you'd look for landmarks. You turn left at the pub, you turn right at the letterbox. Nowadays, it's just listen to Tina on the bloody on the thing.
I don't know whether it's. I know what you're saying. I don't know whether it's our brain can't take. It's very clever in our brain. I think it discards what it doesn't need. And phone numbers are a prime example of that. Really, you don't need to be able to store a phone number in your head now.
But I mean, the human brain isn't equipped for so much information, i.e., like, like you'd have like your news back in the day. Your news, the old crier would come in. Hear ye, the king is dead. When did he die? 4 years ago. But it's taken him that long to get around the country. In that time, we could have had 4 kings. To now, there was a house fire in Glasgow. That's tragic. But why have I got to hear about it? There's a war in Yemen. That's terrible. But you have all this bad information coming in, and I don't believe our human brains are designed for it. Like, it'd be me and you on the trail, or me and you working, and I go, how are you? Oh, you never guess what? Jeff's dad's died. Let's have a whip round. Or you never guess what? She's got poorly. Let's go and help her. Or I'm out of work. Can I help you? Whereas now we're bombarded by everything.
Do you think it makes people more insensitive in terms of you're now, like, if that situation there, well, Jeff's dad's died, let's have a whip round for him. But now we're hearing about death or tragic accidents happening constantly. It might not be on your doorstep, but is it then going, well, this happens all the time?
I think there's 2 extremes. Like, some are very sensitive. I have children up here at the boxing club who are having panic attacks because they think we're going to war tomorrow, and they think we're going to be bombed and we're going to World War III. Their little brains can't handle what's going on. 2, we saw it in COVID and we see it in war. Oh, 1,000's died today, but don't worry, only 900's died today. It's been a good day.
Yeah.
So it's that, you know what I mean? And then you see people on like kids are playing on the fighting games all the time, and they shoot them up, and they don't realise if you stab someone 5 times, you might kill them, or once they're dead forever. They've kind of got the horror blinkers on, you know what I mean? You can cut someone's head off and they'll just have another life. So there's 2 sides to every coin, isn't there?
There is. I mean, and let's be honest about it. Us 2 growing up loved movies, still love movies, but we watched 18 movies well before 18 with violence in and whatever else. So is there a difference between watching it and doing it yourself? I don't mean going out stabbing. I mean on a computer game, doing it. I
think there is. I personally think it is. And once again, we would have a video or a DVD. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we'd watch that. And we'd watch that to death. Whereas nowadays, you could like go on a massive binge of every horror movie, sit there. But I think when you start doing the act of stabbing and shooting people, in my opinion, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, in my opinion, watching a film to actually committing
a crime on your game.
On the game, a pretend crime. But you can visualise doing it.
I mean, the mad things I remember when things like Grand Theft Auto came out, and it was on the PS1, and you didn't look human in it.
Yeah.
Did you?
I never played it.
No, I wasn't sure whether you see, but basically, the view from it's on top, so you're kind of looking on the top of someone's head. So it's like this little blob that's moving around, for one of the better. You know what I mean? So it's not human. Now I play with my lad on these games, and you think you're watching a movie.
It's a movie now, isn't it?
Yeah, you think you're watching a movie but you're taking part in it. So it is a lot more realistic than it's ever been. And then when you put the VR goggles on, that just blows you away. You're in the room.
Well, I remember hearing back, it's a World of Warcraft, and someone would be sat there on a TV, I don't know, a 24-inch screen, and because they'd have a live there, and people would starve to death. But I was thinking, but how is that possible when you're just looking at a screen? How have you forgot to eat, or how have you let your children starve to death when it's a screen? But when you're plugging yourself into a virtual reality and you become that, you can see how.
You know what, Kev? It's early days for that, and our lad's got it, and he's got an older version of it. To be fair, and I'll put that on. And honest to God, some of it you play these games, and you do get lost in playing them. You do get, you know what I mean. I wouldn't say I thought I was there, but it's like if you're walking across a tightrope, and you fall. You fall, yeah, you know what I mean. And I think it's early days for this. It's gonna be mind blowing, really, because now you kind of you've got that big goggles on, but those goggles are gonna reduce, and the controllers you got are gonna end up being a little dot on your thumb, aren't they? You know, so you're gonna feel really part of what you're doing. The graphics are gonna be better. So you just think, are people gonna be living there where you can create your own world, or as much as possible? Because even that now's a cost. You know, when we play games, you completed a game and you went and brought another one.
Yeah.
These games you can't complete, or a lot of them you don't complete now. It's a never-ending thing, and all you can do is pay money to get upgrades while you're in there.
A new gun, a
new this, a new that, whatever it may be. But you do wonder whether people are going to spend more time. You can just imagine people on a sofa hooked up to a drip while they're playing this game because they're too engrossed to eat.
Well, you can imagine, you know, and I've seen it on movies, and I've seen it, I think, on a Family Guy, and it's you go on your holidays. So where are we going to go? Oh, let's go to Thailand, or let's go to Butlins, or wherever you want to go. You put it on, and there you are. You know,
well, funny you say that on that VR. One of the first things me and my lad did on it, you can. It's like you're a bird and you're flying around these cities and exploring them. And even then, it blew my mind. Honestly, it absolutely blew my mind. You feel like you're there. You feel like you're above it, a bird in this city, flying around it, looking at everything, and it was amazing. To be fair, it really was.
Well, I think as an old footy, do they? But it is that amazing. That's why it hooks you, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it is. It's like with our phones, our tablets, the algorithms are so powerful. And then when you put all the sparkles on it and everything else, you know, imagine within goggles when it can be, I don't know, the smell. And because you can smell the beef burger, that triggers your taste. So you feel like you're eating a beef burger. So you're getting all the joys of eating a burger or a doner kebab or sipping a beer, but you're not actually putting the calories into your body.
I mean, that could have benefits as well as...
Oh, yeah, but that could keep you there for longer, couldn't it? Yeah. So you feel like, oh, well, don't worry, Mum, I've had my food today, but you haven't actually eaten. And next thing you know, you're a bag of bones. So, but it's... All the things from growing up are very close.
Oh, it all leads into what they've actually named the title, isn't it? And it's about downtime, what you do when you're downtime. Yeah. That's what some people enjoy doing, isn't it?
Well, we had someone come on here about the gaming, because the last game I played was Sonic the Hedgehog. You know what I mean? So I'm really out the loop. But when he was explaining it to us, Steve was talking about it, and he was saying, like, as you just said, you can get addicted to gaming because to get to this level, it's, I don't know, 5, 10, 50 quid to get this new sword or get this character or get this football player or get this boxer. And next thing you know, you spend your week's wages.
Yeah, I think a lot of it now is it's very much like the real world where it's what you've got in there as well.
Yeah.
Like what you buy enhances you in the game, doesn't it? So it's not an earned thing anymore. Like you can't, like we had to, if we completed a game, you had to earn completing that game by getting good at the game and getting better and better and then completing levels. Whereas now you can kind of go, well, I don't really want to do all that. I don't want to learn it. I'm just going to buy that there. Yeah. And I'll end up at the same place.
That's not good values to teach anyone either, is it?
No, it's not. No, it's not. But that's kind of like real life in a sense as well, isn't it? It can move you along having money.
Unfortunately. But it's like with downtime, because I hear a lot about people on games now and kids and grown-ups. You know what I mean? A lot, you know, and I'm laughing. I just go, oh, I've banned him from his Xbox. So I'll send him out for a run so I can have a go on his Xbox. And I think everything in moderation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where I struggle, I've just knocked the booze on the head. Not
you haven't done it very moderate, have you? You've knocked everything on the head.
But I'll say that because moderation's good for some people. Some people, I know you understand, you have to go cold turkey. What I need to do is, like, I've knocked the booze on the head, I've knocked sugar on the head, caffeine on the head, not having takeaway. So I've gone boom. So, you know, you're going for a bit of your withdrawals and all this because people forget how addictive sugar and caffeine are. And when you knock the booze in the head, as any ex-alcoholic will tell you, is like you crave sugar because they make sugar in your beer and your spirits and your wine. So when you go from having, I don't know, 8-10 pints a day, excess, to nothing, your body's craving out for that bit of sugar, chewing gum, sugar in your coffee. So to knock it all on the head, a bit tough at the minute. But what I like doing it is, some craving, is proving to myself that I have got discipline. I want a chocolate. You want it, you don't need it. You know, I want this, but it's remind yourself, I don't. And for the first however long, I don't sleep. I haven't had a good night's sleep in ages. But now it's coming out my system. 2 or 3 great night sleeps on the bounce. And that's what you got to do. You got to let your body get used to the new you, haven't you?
Just readjust.
And I'm not abstaining from alcohol forever. You know, I've got one of my lads in the quarterfinals. Touch wood if he wins, semi-finals, finals. So we're going to Rotherham for the weekend. Me, my coach, my boxer, his dad. I'm going to have a drink and we're going to have the meals, but I'm going to do it again and repeat, because there is no shadow of a doubt to me. When you knock this stuff on the head, eventually you start feeling better. Not overnight, because nothing happens that way. Boom, I'm a new man. But you have more motivation, even like something, you know, in the bathroom, you run in me cupboard under the sink, run out of toilet rolls, or there's one left, and normally go, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it now. When you're not hungover, when you haven't got things in your system, you do stuff. When you're a bit half cut or whatever, you go, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll take the recycling out tomorrow. But when you're on the ball, you have to do them little mundane jobs, aren't you?
Yeah.
Silly little things that make all the difference.
Yeah, you do. You get you. I think you think more clearly in general, don't you? And it's why wait till tomorrow? It can be done now. You're not as lazy.
Not as lazy. You've got more energy to do stuff. Like my downtime at the moment, what I'm doing, because I'm up here all the time, instead of going outside for a fag or going out, having a coffee, or even looking at my social media, because that's my other thing. You're there checking on social media. How am I doing on Instagram? How am I doing on TikTok? How's the Black Country Blokes? How's the Lions? I'm doing my weights. Stand my weights, or if I don't do some weights, I've had Josh taking me on the pads, or I jump on the bike for 10 minutes. If I've only got spare 10 minutes, if I spare half an hour doing stuff. And filling your time with being better than just wasting time.
It's fun enough. When I'll go back into training, one of the things I'll make sure I do, because I'll watch telly before I go to sleep. But when I go back into training, I'll make sure I'm reading before I go to sleep.
Yeah.
Instead of watching telly, which relaxes me more. But it's also it puts you in that mindset that every bit of your day you're doing something towards helping yourself instead of just watching mindless crap.
Yeah.
And that's the same principle, isn't it?
It's the bettering yourself, isn't it? On social media, because I'm putting social media out here, and I've got the Lions, and I've got this. So you're posting videos, and you've got to respond back to stuff. I hate all that stuff. I hate it. But you find yourself doing it when I'm on a holiday, or if me and my missus go away, even for a night, I don't take my phone, and I love it. Not looking at my phone when she goes to the loo, or not looking at my phone. Just
Kate do the same. Out of curiosity.
She takes a phone, because a lot of stuff now you have to log in. You have to check in with your phone. Then she has a phone as a sat nav. Then she has a phone as a camera. But people don't phone. You know what I mean? And if it is, it's something
important.
What are you trying to say? But she hasn't got like my network where people are always phoning. And she'll put on airplane mode, or you know what I mean. But
I'll find this because I do something similar. You know, when I'm down the van, it's the only time really that I know all the family are safe because I'm there with them.
Yeah.
Like if I'm out and about, I have to have my phone on me because they're little. And I'll do the same. I'll have a day where, at least a day where that phone is turned off.
Yeah.
And it's not near me. But then everyone else in the house has got the phone on them. You know what I mean? So I'll sit and read or whatever. But it's always like, I wouldn't say it's not awkward. It's not the wrong word. But it's also like, well, why am I doing this when everyone else has got the phone on them?
Yeah.
But then I think, well, it's for your own sake.
It's for your own sake.
To be honest. But you know what I'm saying? And if anyone else is on the phone, you're kind of like, well, you're all on your phone. I might as well be on my own.
Well, we, because Kate still hasn't gone on social media since she come back from holiday, which is great for her because she's wasting time. You know what I mean? But what we're going to start doing, and we started this Saturday, every Saturday, a day in the week, a weekend, because I can't say Saturday because things happen. But no tablets, no phones, and we're going to play a board game. How old-fashioned. And we played Horrible Histories this week. And we had a right good laugh. You know, just sitting there, just playing the game, an old-fashioned board game. And it's great, you know, we get so tied down with devices. A game of cards, a game of this, a game of, you know, it's just going, let's be with each other. Downtime. And I'm saying it as an old dinosaur, you know, you can do family
I think we forget now, don't we, Kev? Because we grew up in the era without all that, but we're also part of the era where we understand it.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, and what I mean by understand it, like our parents they live that long without it. They don't really care that much about it. Whereas we're in between them both, aren't we?
My mum could do make a plea. She looked in lockdown when we had obviously couldn't see see my daughter. So she on the tablet, seeing her over there. But she could do without it altogether. But she hasn't got a smartphone. So when it's at the parking, and you need a smartphone to do this. She goes, well, I haven't got one. Can I just put my pound in? So she's that. My dad's a gossip. He loves his phone, social media and all that, and he's always on it. So that's two people in the same household who are completely different.
Different, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm always on my phone, but at the same time, I love not being on it. I love them things where I can just go, no, don't matter. Live in the moment.
Yeah, I think it's. I almost think phones need to shut off after a certain time. But it's our responsibility to shut them off, isn't it? But you know what I'm saying? I think our kids just don't know at all what it's like not to have that, not to have the internet. Like it blows our kids' mind. Like, well, what do you mean you didn't have the internet? Well, yeah, we just didn't have it.
Yeah, at all?
It wasn't even a thought.
No, 4 crappy channels.
Yeah,
probably one TV in the house. Your dad had first dibs. You have your cartoons on, and then that was.
Yeah. Whereas now it's you do what you want. You've got what you want.
But you'd have your video, whatever it was, I don't know, whatever the video was. You'd watch that video until the video wore out. Whereas nowadays, I'm sat there with Jazz, and do you want to watch a movie? No, not really, because she's happy watching things in little bite-sized chunks. I've already seen this one. And you're going, but what's wrong with repetition? I'd watch the programs that much. I knew every single word through it. And movies, how many movies we've watched together? And you go, how many times have you watched this movie? I must have watched it 30 times. You know what I mean? Because I find comfort in that. Just being able to, some nights when you're battered. And, a movie
well, you know what, Kev? It's funny enough. You still go back to the movies now, don't you?
Yeah.
If you're look, I don't know what to watch. I'll watch that.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump's on. Oh, it's only an hour to go. But I know exactly what happens. I know when to go up, go for a wee. I know when to laugh. I know when to cry. And it's like kind of Shaun of the Dead. All right, half an hour to go. But I know it inside out. But I find comfort in that.
Yeah.
Like now, Downtime again, like me and my missus watching series. And because by the time I finish up here, and then the baby's got to get to bed, she'll be in bed by the time we get home. We've both got to get up in the morning. So I love watching movies, but most movies now are like 3 hours long. So I like watching series of half an hour to an hour episodes. Because then sometimes I go, you know what? We'll watch another one. We've got time to watch another one.
They're easy to fit in, aren't they?
They're easy to fit in. And even on the weekend, you'll go back to back, and you watch a whole series in a night or in a day. But a movie, I'm thinking, have I really got 2.5 hours spare? And but that's how I like to spend my downtime. I like TV. My happy place, I keep saying, on my settee, under my blanket, with my missus or my family. Just sitting there. We're all safe. We're all warm. We're all fed. Sitting there chilling. I love that as my downtime.
Yeah.
But
I don't think people appreciate that as much anymore, do they? In terms of people think you need to be doing something constant. Because I'm the same. I'll sit and watch a series quite happily and just chill out, watch that, or mess my bike, or you know what I mean? Which I think it's good sometimes, just not doing anything.
I love adventures. When I say an adventure, that could be going over Himley. That could be just going to the park. I love it when we all do something as a group and we go out and we stretch our legs and we have a walk. But an adventure can be, as I say, going to the park, going down the common, going to whatever, going to a National Trust. It hasn't got to be Alton Towers. It hasn't got to be London Eye. We think sometimes big is better.
Yeah.
The key is being together.
Yeah.
And no matter where you are, rain, sun, snow, ice, if you're all there having a bit of a laugh together, it's a good day, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I find that myself. I think going out in a bit like with the little one now, even people's houses, like for you to go out, it's like, come on, let's jump in the car and go. Whereas us, it's like, you got to think about this plan. Okay, if we're going to that person's house, can we get the wheelchair up in the thing? And half the time, I don't go because I'm more knackered thinking about what I've got to do to get there, and I just think, you know what, just leave it.
Yeah.
It just seems like a lot of, let's just sit on the sofa and watch some crap, because it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard work getting it out.
It's when you've got a baby, that same thing, isn't it? But when you've got a girl who's 9, and a baby, you can literally throw it on one arm, but as Cal's getting bigger, it's harder, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Like I say, like most houses aren't equipped for you to just, like, even my family's houses. Like my Cal has never been in my mum's because she's in a flat up some stairs. You know, you've got to think about stuff. So it's not like, because there's nothing better than a spontaneous, let's just go and pop there.
Yeah.
Let's just go and do that and do that today and come back. But it's just not like that.
And wheelchairs are different, aren't they? Like the old wheelchairs, like my granddad Burner was in, and I've got one in Flint8 at the moment. And it's all, they're little things, and like to get up a step, you put your foot on the back, you get up the curb, and you get them in. But now they're like little tanks, aren't they? Like these scooters, a lot of them, and you can't just get them up onto a step or get them. Like to get into my house, you wouldn't be able to because they're, the step and the curb.
Yeah, I mean, some still have them kickbacks on, but that's, we're going down a different route there. But we get her in the house, but it just mean lifting it up. But again, you're thinking about that, and then you're thinking, well, when I got there, is your house suitable for her? And what I mean is, if we don't want to keep her in a chair constantly, she'll want to get out, and she can't get out in your, because she'd destroy your place and be pulling stuff off the you know what I mean? So it's not as and then she'd be banging off everything, which could hurt her, because it's not, so you have to think about kind of everything when you do anything.
And that's affect you, like, as you said, you can't have like so many spontaneous moments.
Yeah.
Does that affect you? Do you think?
It doesn't affect me. All it does is, like, if I know we're going somewhere, so let's say you invite me around to your house with our kid, I'd stress as much about going there, about making sure what we're going to take when we get there, how we're going to keep her occupied, and how we're going to get her in the house. I just think I shouldn't be getting stressed out about going to my friend's house.
Yeah.
But it does. It's stress-inducing. Stress-inducing just thinking about it.
It's tough then, isn't it? Because do you feel like sometimes you guys miss out on stuff? Or?
Yeah and no. Obviously you do miss out on stuff, but it depends what you're missing as well. Because as long as they're your family around you, what you're missing, really.
And I think
I found that with the pub trade, for years, obviously working in the pub trade, and people were like, you missed a lot of your youth because you was working and all that. And I thought, well, but it wasn't really, like, it was nice going out with people and going out with friends, but that's not what I really missed is spending time with the family. To me, not going out with friends. You hear it all in the boxing, don't you? Like, he's 25 now and he's never had a drink or been out with his mates. You think, well, when you're older, you realise actually that's not the thing you should be missing. The nights out and whatever else, not really that important. It's a time you've missed away from your family.
I think it's like, as you get older as well, I see it like, don't get me wrong, every so often, I love going out, having a real good drink and playing up and I can't be doing it all the time now.
No.
But
they call it sacrificing. I just think that's no sacrifice to me, really.
No.
Missing a few nights out, not really.
And it's wanting to be there with them, because
Well, we speak about it a lot, don't we? Like, you sacrifice a lot of your family time to take lads boxing.
Yeah.
Now you're doing it. You said earlier, you're doing it less and less because you're realising actually the importance of being at home.
Now
that was sacrifice.
Yeah.
But not going out for a beer with your friends every once in a while is not really that sacrifice, is it?
No, as I say, I've got a good team around us at the moment, so they are taking the lads out, and they're eager. I'll always be there. I'm their coach, and I'll always be there to help, and I'll go to championships and go to some bouts. But when you're out all the time, and you think, well, when I get poorly, are my boxers going to be looking after me and caring for me? Can I say this to a lot of coaches? You will love your boxer more than they love you. They will love you in their own way while you serve a purpose. And if you're lucky, they'll invite you to the wedding and everything. But 9 times out of 10, when they finish boxing, when they play football or tennis or cricket or bowling or badminton, whatever they do, they're at your life.
Yeah.
You are consistent. You're here. How many children at the moment I've had, they become daddies, and they're now bringing their kids. They've gone on had a full life, and I'm still here.
Mm.
You know, me and mom, the two consistents, still come here. And they go off, have a life, and they go, oh, as soon as they can box, I brought them here. But 9 times out of 10, if you're very lucky, that 1 person out of 10, Kev, I've had enough. I'm packing it in.
Mm.
I've fell out of love with a game, or I've 9 times out of 10, they just don't turn up.
Yeah.
And you
And
go,
then you don't see him again. It's not like, I've had enough, Kev, but you know what? I'm going to come up every now and again and see you.
oh, just thank you for the 10 years.
Yeah.
Thank you for the 6 months. I don't like boxing no more.
Mm.
I hope you're well. Stay in touch.
Mm.
It's very rare you have that. But you will sacrifice your children, your friends' weddings, the funerals, all these things, booking your family holiday around for other people.
Mm.
They care about you in their own way. But once you stop serving your purpose, they'll drop you like, anything. And realising as you get older, I'm thinking, I'll be there for you. You need a talk. But my little girl, I'm taking her to the park. My little girl there, I'm going to go and watch her dancing.
Mm.
And it's putting things in priorities.
Yeah, it is. That's an age thing, isn't it?
It is.
Growing up, and you realise. I think you realise more when your kids come along, because how fast the time goes.
Yeah.
Like, look at my oldest now, who's just flying up when I just think, where I remember you being born, and it seemed like yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, where's that time go? Calla 9 years old now, and you think, what? Where's that gone?
Yeah.
Where's that time gone? And you do, don't you? And you appreciate then what you actually have missed and what you have sacrificed in terms of that. It's not night out, it's a sacrifice. It's the time with your family.
And your downtime, you want to spend with them. Don't get me wrong, sometimes when I'm not up here and you actually have to ask yourself, and you go,
Yeah.
this is great.
Yeah.
And on the set, you go, I might have a nap. That's brilliant. But as we saw in lockdown, too much of a good thing, too much of nothing, too much of downtime with no purpose, no vision, no direction in your life is hell in its own right.
Mm.
Just sitting there all the time thinking, well, I've watched everything on Netflix. Me and my daughter have played every physical game. We have made everything we can out of cardboard boxing. We've painted every picture. What next?
Yeah.
So a downtime is great. Like a weekend's great when you've worked all week.
Mm.
When every day's the weekend, it's funny how bored you get.
Yeah.
So enjoy your downtime for what it is. Downtime. But fill your other time with stuff.
Yeah. That's it.
I'll do it today.
That'll do. Excuse me, yeah.
I had a lovely saying earlier. I always love my sayings. And it was, if you chase butterflies, they'll fly away. But if you create a beautiful garden, they'll come and find you. So make you the best person you can be, and you'll attract the world. Well, guys, we've got Dave coming on next week. He's got a very interesting story. So tune in, spread the word, please subscribe and share. Until we see each other next time, I want you all to take care of yourselves and each other. Try a bit.
Listen.
And that's a wrap for another show. But if there are any comments or messages that you would like us to read out for our next podcast, please be in touch. There are also lots of different organisations at the bottom of this page, and hopefully they can help you or someone you care about. Please share this to spread the word. Until we talk next time, ta-ra a bit.